Beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. As we all know, Paris Saint-Germain bottled a 2-0 lead yesterday versus Stade de Brest at the Parc des Princes. And there were a lot of tweets, a lot of reactionary tweets in my opinion, regarding Luis Enrique's future at the club. And in this video, I thought to myself to compare him to the best managers we've had at Paris Saint-Germain post-QSI, obviously. We have Laurent Blanc, who was at the club from 2012 to 2016, and he did a great job with Paris Saint-Germain, having the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Edinson Cavani, Thiago Silva, Marco Verratti, Thiago Motta. And then obviously after him came Unai Emery, who in his second season got Neymar, got Mbappe. But we're here to look at his first season, Laurent Blanc's first season, and Thomas Tuchel, who obviously was the only Paris Saint-Germain manager to take Paris Saint-Germain to the Champions League final. And these three, I wanted to compare them to Luis Enrique, who so far played 28 games at Paris Saint-Germain, and I wanted to compare his first 28 to their first 28 games. And here's how it looks. When it comes to league end points, Thomas Tuchel at the top with 53 points, Blanc and Luis Enrique the exact same amount of league end points, 44, and Unai Emery lost when it comes to 39 points. Then when it comes to Champions League points, obviously there's a lot of context which kind of group you play them. I mean, the lowest points is Tuchel and Luis Enrique, but they had the toughest and hardest groups compared to what Unai Emery had in his first season and Laurent Blanc. But Lucho's lost when it comes to the points in the Champions League group stage. And then when we look at goals scored, Lucho's second, goals conceded, Lucho's first. Lucho's conceded the most goals, but I do think there's some valuable excuses to Lucho having conceded the most goals, and just Lucho comparably to these managers. Obviously Luis Enrique, an entirely new team has been built. An entirely new team has been built when he entered the club. Experienced players like Marco Verratti, Neymar Jr., Lionel Messi, Sergio Ramos have all left the club. And Luis Enrique has had to do the best possible with an entirely brand new, young, unexperienced squad as well. One great thing Lucho did was winning the Trophée du Champion, which all of those previous managers did in their first season at Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Enrique has also outperformed his opposition 23 times out of 28 games when it comes to XG. So when it comes to our Paris Saint-Germain creating enough chances to win games, yes, Lucho has made that possible. Lucho has made Paris Saint-Germain into a really good team. Every game possible we've played this season, we've been the better team. There's some games where we've had similar XG, and then obviously there is the Newcastle away and Nice at home, which the opposition team outperformed us in XG. And then obviously the last one was Le Havre, where obviously Donnarumma getting a red card early on, our backup goalkeeper coming on, but we still managed to win that game, which shows us the mentality that Lucho has brought upon the PSG players. And even when we take a look at two draws that we received in the Champions League versus Newcastle and Dortmund, you can't blame that on Lucho. I saw people blaming Lucho after those two games. The Newcastle game, we had 4.4 XG compared to 1.3. How we didn't win that game by a large margin, I don't understand. The same with Dortmund, 2.8 to 1.4. I don't know how we didn't beat Dortmund with a large score. This should not be blamed on Lucho. Lucho is the top of Ligue 1. Lucho managed to go through the Champions League group, even though we were easily the best team in that group. We were easily the best team. We created the most chances. We should have scored the most goals. That's why I put the blame on the players. The players should be accountable. I don't like this, oh, it doesn't go well, you blame the manager. I get it that the manager is the dominant role. He is the face of the team. But well, you have 4.4 XG, which is one of the highest XGs I've seen in the Champions League. When you have 4.4 and only managed to score one goal, which was the penalty, the players obviously have to be accountable. And same goes for the game yesterday against Brest, because I read through everything Lucho had to say after the game and what he told the players mid-half, at halftime, where he told the players, he told them to come out even better, to be more aggressive. But it was the PSG players' decision to come out that sloppy, to come out that arrogant in the second half and drop 2 points against Brest yesterday. I really don't understand the criticism towards Lucho. Am I saying he doesn't deserve any critique? Absolutely no. I mean, trying out Beraldo as a centre-back and starting Colomwani, and maybe his substitutes were a bit questionable. But I still do think, despite of all of that, we should easily have won yesterday's game. I don't blame it entirely on Lucho. Most of the blame I put on the players. Why? Because we lost yesterday's game because of what our players did. We couldn't defend those 2 goals versus Brest, and we couldn't create a single chance in the entirety of the second half, apart from one small chance that led to Kylian Mbappe's blocked shot. And even if you don't care about Ligue 1 and what happens in Ligue 1, I mean, most managers that have come to this club have dominated and won Ligue 1. Let's take a look at Champions League, because these are the numbers of Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League group stage, which tell you the entire story. Most carries into the penalty area, 3rd most key passes, 3rd most passes per game, 2nd most possession, 3rd most shots, 3rd most shot creating actions, 4th most passes into the final third, 2nd most passes into the penalty area, 2nd best progressive passes, 2nd best progressive carry, 3rd best non-penalty XG, and 3rd best XG. The underlying numbers are telling us that Lucho has done great with this Paris Saint-Germain side, and that we are a top 3 team in every single offensive important category in the Champions League, alongside Manchester City and Real Madrid. To everyone that questions Lucho's future at this club, to everyone that was tweeting or just was laughing about the idea of Lucho out, you should be ashamed of yourself. With 28 games into the season, we have been 15 games unbeaten in our lost games. We have had players out. We have an entirely new squad. Players underperforming like Manuel Ugarte, Gonzalo Ramos, Randal Colomani, and so on. I really don't understand how the blame could be on Lucho. Let me know in the comments down below what I've been wrong on, and what should Lucho really be criticized for. That's been it from your boy PSG, and as usual, allez, allez, allez Luis Enrique, and allez Paris.